There are lots of examples of Daleks fighting other Daleks across the long and varied history of Doctor Who. Due to their fervent devotion to their own perceived purity, different sub-factions of Daleks will often come into conflict with each other, with each side considering the other to be impure, and therefore deserving of extermination. In this video, we are going to rank the many examples of Daleks fighting Daleks, based on how cool the battles are, whether the battles make sense, and what impact the battles have on the story. We begin our ranking list with arguably the most short-lived encounter between different varieties of Dalek, and that is the hasty extermination of the Ironside Daleks by the newly created Daleks of the New Dalek paradigm. This encounter is at the bottom of the list because it hardly counts as a Dalek battle at all, as the Ironsides willingly submit to obliteration as soon as the Paradigm Daleks declare their superiority. This scene shows how powerful the Paradigm Daleks are compared to the Ironsides, and how devoted the Ironsides were to restoring the supremacy of the Daleks. The next Daleks vs Daleks encounter on the list is the conflict between the pure Daleks and the Daleks created by Professor Martez on the planet Red Rocket Rising, which feature in the Big Finish audio Blood of the Daleks. This two-part audio story is the first adventure of the 8th Doctor Adventures, starring Paul McGann and Sheridan Smith, and sees a dramatic battle between two factions of Daleks play out on a planet ravaged by a meteor strike. This audio does a great job of illustrating the xenophobia of the Daleks, as the reasoning behind the conflict between the regular Daleks and the human-based Daleks is well explained and fits with the character of the Daleks, making Blood of the Daleks one of the most unique and engaging Dalek audio stories. Next up is the heated debate that takes place between two Daleks in Resurrection of the Daleks, one that is loyal to the Supreme Dalek and one that has been brainwashed into serving Davros. These two Daleks have an intense argument over their respective allegiances before opening fire in a spectacular display of pyrotechnics that leaves both Daleks destroyed. It's odd to think that this spat is arguably the opening fight of the Imperial Renegade Dalek Civil War. Next, we have the climactic battle between the forces of the Emperor Dalek and the rebel humanized Daleks from the Evil of the Daleks. This sequence was the first representation of a full-scale Dalek Civil War that we ever got in Doctor Who, and thanks to the animated reconstruction of this episode, we can now experience this incredible spectacle of the Dalek Emperor and his guards being attacked and destroyed by a huge army of rebel Daleks. Our next entry is the dramatic and visually stunning slaughter of the Daleks attacking the Aristotle carried out by Rusty at the climax of Into the Dalek. This impressive display was created entirely using practical effects, precise timing, and scenes filmed from different angles using multiple cameras. This sequence not only illustrates Rusty's brutality, but also the Daleks' utter shock at being attacked by one of their brethren, to the extent that they barely have a chance to fight back before the entire squad is annihilated. Breaking into the top 3 now, we have the battle between the Death Squad Daleks and the Defense Drones from Revolution of the Daleks. This sequence has all the ingredients for a fantastic Daleks vs Daleks encounter, as each faction is visually distinct from one another, there is a clear reason why the two factions of Daleks dislike each other, and the battle itself is a pivotal part of the story. The fact that we get a scene of two factions of Daleks talking to each other, then battling it out, illustrates the twisted ideology of the Daleks. The only downside to this scene is that it wasn't long enough. At number 2 we have Revelation of the Daleks, which gives us the first large-scale battle of the Imperial Renegade Dalek Civil War in the form of the Grey Daleks attacking a group of Necros Daleks as they invade the Tranquil Repos facility to capture Davros. Although not as visually impressive as some of the other Daleks vs Daleks sequences on this list, this encounter was the first representation of a full-scale Daleks vs Daleks battle in the colour era of Doctor Who, and it contains some impressive pyrotechnics. And finally, the number 1 spot goes to none other than Remembrance of the Daleks. When it comes to Daleks vs Daleks action, you can't get any better than this story. We see various encounters between the Grey Renegade Daleks and the White and Gold Imperial Daleks, including several involving the Special Weapons Dalek, spread across this 4-part story. Every encounter between these two factions is thrilling, and we get a variety of different matchups showing the strengths and weaknesses of each side. The only downside to Remembrance of the Daleks is that, unlike some of the other Dalek vs Dalek encounters on this list, the Daleks don't really talk to each other, but their ideologies are effectively explained by other characters in the story, and the sheer magnitude of the incredible visual effects used in this episode makes up for the lack of verbal debate with a wonderful display of Dalek firepower. It is safe to say that Remembrance of the Daleks is the ultimate Daleks vs Daleks story. It topped any Dalek Civil War story that came before, and it's been the inspiration for every Daleks vs Daleks battle since. What do you think? Do you agree with this ranking? What's your favourite Daleks vs Daleks scene? Let me know in the comments below.